What's up, Rogue enthusiasts? It is Goatee here, and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. For today, I got you a updated Goatee deck profile. This deck did extremely well the first time I showed it off. I have continued my thorough testing of it, and I have brought to you a new and improved version. And this version, trust me, is very, very spicy, and it is very, very cool. And I really do I think Goatee have quickly become one of my favorite decks of all time. I just think they're insanely cool, and they're all based on fish, and who doesn't like fish? So if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you do leave a like and a comment down below. I reply to every single one. And if you are new here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. I promise you it is free. 95% of you who watch this video are not subscribed, so please, what are you doing? Make sure you're here for all this amazing content. Now, without any further ado, let's get straight into this fish deck profile. So starting off with this updated Goatee build, we have triple of the Paces. I still believe that this is the best tuner of the entire deck. It is very, very versatile. The fact that you can just normal summon it, banish it, special any fish, and it will come back during the standby phase is amazing. Shift as well is really good. I just maximize on the tuners because I am playing Pot of Desires, and I want to at least have one in rotation with a second in backup just in case. So that is how I like to play the ratios. I have triple of the Lifeless Leaf Fish. This on normal summon will send your Shift, and then your Shift will come back during the standby phase. So it's basically a 1-card Synchro 6 into a Synchro 8 disruption. So it's 3 of basically. We have triple of the Abyss Shark. Absolutely insane. I can't believe how good this card is. Not only does it special summon itself, it searches a level 3, 4, or 5 water. It's really, really nice, and it doubles the battle damage of your Xyz monster when it battles. So that's really, really nice. Triple of the Hop Air Squadron. I feel like this card's really underrated, actually. Not a lot of people expect the Hop Air Squadron, and they don't really know what it does. If you don't know what it does, it targets a monster you control, special summons itself to the field, and immediately synchros. And the beautiful thing about Hop Air Squadron is it doesn't lock you into the fish like the Goatees do. So you can go into your generic synchros on your opponent's turn, like Crystal Wing with an Orion Post and the Hop Air Squadron, and then you get the Orion Post Search, and you have the Crystal Wing negate. You can go into, with a Azcan, you can go into a Ruddy Rose, you can go into a Chen Ying. It's really versatile card, and I'm maxing it out. The only bad thing I'd say about this card is it's only ever good if you have monsters already on the field. If you have nothing on the field, this card is not very good. Triple of the Supei Dustwalker and the 1 Supei. I see people say you need to play the Supei Dustwalker package or the Abyss Shark. I say just play both, because both are really, really good in different scenarios, and I want the deck to be as versatile as possible. But the Supei package is amazing. Discard a card, get you straight into a Synchro 6, locks you into the Synchros for the turn. Oh no! But anyways. For the other Goatee, we're playing double of the Snowpios. I seriously do believe that this is one of the reasons why this deck is insane. The Snowpios Recursion is really, really good. Not only is it a quick effect banish from the field or graveyard as cost, so you can dodge things that target and things like that. When itself gets banished, because you can target itself for its effect, banish it when it leaves the field, banish a fish from your graveyard, and it recurs itself back to your hand. So you have infinite recursion with 1 Snowpios if you play it right. We have double of the Silent Angler. I'm not playing 3 because it's searchable, but I still do really like this card. I see builds play 1. I think having 2 is nice. If you go through 1, you can at least have a second later on. Double of the Minaruka. This card is very good as well, to be honest with you. When I initially read it, I read it incorrectly. I thought it was a quick effect negate, but it actually isn't. But it's still useful because it's a quick effect summon, and you can all banish itself or any other fish and negate a card for the end, till the end of your opponent's next end phase. So it's like for 2 turns really. So if you hit a Floodgate, it's locked out for 2 turns, which is useful because your Goatees come back during your, usually the next standby phase, which is your opponent's. So if you hit a Floodgate like Zombie World, or if you hit a Floodgate like There Can Be Only One, or Rivalry, or anything like that, it struts it out for your turn and your opponent, so it lets you do your synchro plays during your opponent's turn. We are also playing 1 Zep. I think you don't really need more than 1. This card's good. It's good, but it's only ever good if you're sending it off, if you're banishing off Orion Post during your opponent's turn, because then it immediately comes back and gives you access to the Azcan. That is literally its only use. The other use is you can banish it from your hand and a fish in your graveyard. That's it. It doesn't really do much else. I think only 1 is needed. Same with the Xyz. It's searchable if you need it off the Abyss Shark and it's sort of like a gazelle. If you add it to the hand while banishing a fish, it triggers. You don't need to have this already in your hand and banish a fish. It sort of remembers that a fish was banished when it was added. So it's kind of nice, and it's just a level 4 extender. We don't play any of the traps, so its second effect is never going to come up. That is it for the fish. And for the hand traps, triple of the Magnamute, double of the Druisworm. I know you're asking why you're playing this. It's not very good anymore. Well, the fact is that they are level 6 monsters that can be special summoned during your opponent's turn and help you with your synchro climbing, and they give you additional effects as well and disruption. So I still think you should play them in this deck. Searches for a dragon, so searches for Druisworm, and Druisworm, when it's summoned, it's sent to the graveyard as usually a synchro material with one of your tuners. You get to destroy a special summon monster in the field, so it helps you chain block too. So extremely useful, and I just play them even if they're not that good anymore. For the spells, double Pot of Desires, we play a ton of 3-offs, so Pot of Desires is fine. We play a new card here, which I'm adding, is double Crossout Designator. You're wondering, we don't play that many hand traps to Crossout Designate, but Crossout Designator procs our Tuny Goatees, so really nice. You can Crossout Designator, call your Paces, and during the standby phase it will come back and have the synchro summoning ability, so that's really nice. And of course, it gives you protection from Bestials, Imperms, and if your opponent is playing Desires as well. We're playing one of the field spell. We don't need any more. It is recurable. If they out it, it can basically get itself back. And I only play one. It'd be nice if it was searchable, but I only play one sort of because it isn't searchable, and it's not the most useful card unless you really need to be banishing fish to get those important searches. And for the traps, 3 Imperms. That is it. So that is 40 in the main deck. Let's get on to the extra deck. So moving on to the extra deck, we are playing literally only one link monster, the only one that's needed, Abyss Keeper. He's so good that he reads like a custom card. 2 order monsters to make. On summon, special summons a fish from your hand. You can target one other fish and one card your opponent controls and banish them. And if it's a Goatee tuner, it will come back during the standby phase. So it's basically a free banish. Really, really nice. Only link that is needed. We play one Goatee of the Deep Beyond. I only play one because you only need one. If you successfully resolve this effect, you are winning the duel. I don't care what anyone says. It banishes every single card on the field, and then it comes back and it's absolutely huge. So you only ever really need the 1 copy, and I've never needed 2. I either make this and it gets negated and I'm in a bit of a tough spot, or I make this, everything gets banished, and then I sort of win the game from there. We're playing the one Googlim. People don't play this card. I'm not going to say they're wrong, but I think that Googlin has unique interactions with this build in terms of if you use Magnamute as the level 6 with a Goatee tuner, because you have to, it's a fish tuner and a non-tuner, you can sort of, in the standby phase, when this card banishes itself to bring back the materials, you get an extra search off your Magnamute. So you get 2 Druisworms off the 1 synchro summon of the Googlin, if that makes any sense. And it's useful to out towers because it just non-target banishes them when it battles, and that's sort of useful, and you can't really, you know, be too safe when it comes to those annoying protection monsters. We're playing double of the Azcan. This is by far probably the best synchro, along with double of the Oriompos. I think that these two really do just carry the deck, to be honest with you. Oriompos on summon banishes a fish, and Azcan on summon banishes a fish and another card in the field, usually himself. Oriompos, when used as synchro material, can banish any fish from the graveyard and search. It doesn't have to be a Goatee, it searches any fish, which is really nice. And Azcan, when it's banished, can banish a fish from the graveyard to bring itself back. So that is also very, very useful. We're playing one Ruddy Rose Dragon, because the Azcan with the Hopier Squadron can make the Ruddy Rose Dragon, and it can make a Chen Ying. Since we're playing Desires, Chen Ying can actually get huge, and then sort of become a bit of a problem for your opponent to out. If they try and out it, you can banish a card from your graveyard to protect it, and then it does trigger its effect as well, which is nice. And also during your turn, you can trigger this effect by banishing the shifts from the graveyard. And Ruddy Rose Dragon is still really nice by banishing both graveyards completely, and it can sort of reset your Goatee tuners if you have no real way of banishing them. We're playing the one Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. You got your Azcan, and a level 2 tuner can make your Crystal Wing. It's a negate, it gains attack, and it's just annoying to deal with. That's why I'm playing it. We got the one of the Dragites. This is your spell and trap negates, and you're pretty much always going to have a water monster in the graveyard. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. We play this out boards going second, and in time you can make it blow up one of your cards, inflict 500 damage to your opponent, and then extend the handshake. So it's a way to win in time. We're playing 1 white aura whale. I feel like 1 is mandatory, 2 is debatable. There has been times where I have missed a second copy, but for now I'm just playing 1. And you're really never going to catch your opponent out twice with this card, hence why I don't really want to play 2. You catch them out the first time, and it's amazing, but then they usually tend to put stuff in defense position to play around the white aura whale. We're playing 1 of the Metaphys Horus, which is a new addition. It's a level 6 synchro that isn't Azcan. I thought there's been times where Azcan's been nice, but I haven't needed to really make it. Not Azcan, sorry, Orion Post. I've got myself confused there. Orion Post. Orion Post is the level 6 synchro that banishes a Goatee. If you have all of them in rotation and you can only make a synchro 6, there's no real value in making Orion Post, I've realized. So having a Metaphys Horus is useful, and the reason I'm making this is because it can negate a card permanently on the field, which if it's something like Zombie World or an annoying Floodgate, Goatees can struggle with. So that is why I'm playing the Metaphys Horus. And for the last card, it is number 4, Stealth Kraken, which can be made with Abyss Shock as it counts to level 4 for the XE summon of a number monster, and it's a quick effect pop, does burn, and makes everything water, which is very nice. So that is the end of the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy my take on the Goatees. I think they are extremely underrated this meta, and the best thing about them is that your opponents usually don't know what they do, and that gives you such an incredible advantage, guys. I can't stress that enough. When your opponent has to read your cards and you know exactly what theirs do, the chances of you winning that duel go up exponentially. It doesn't matter if they're playing meta and that you're playing Goatees. The fact that you know what their cards do and they don't know exactly how your cards work is a huge, huge advantage. But with all that being said, I'm Goatee here, and I'll see you all in the next video.